Hi friends, so today we're going to be talking about sorting adverbs. So our goal at the bottom says, I can sort adverbs by the three questions: how, when, and where. So let's get started. Here we go. So just as a review, what is an adverb? So adverbs describe verbs. It's helpful because they're called adverbs. You can hear it right in the name of it. Adverbs answer three questions. They tell us how, when, or where. So those are the three different kinds of adverbs. So some of them tell us how, some of them tell us when, and some of them tell us where. I always like to use this sentence as an example to try to figure out if a word is an adverb. So the dog ran blank. So we can fill in some different adverbs here that answer those three different questions. So the first one, how, I can think about how is the dog running? Well, maybe the dog is running quickly. So that is telling me how the dog is running. How does he run? He runs quickly. That is a how adverb. Next is when. So I'm thinking, when is the dog running? Now, for this one, I can't put a time like 9 o'clock. Because listen and see if it fills in the sentence, if it makes sense. The dog ran 9 o'clock. That doesn't make sense at all. I also can't say the dog ran at 9 o'clock because an adverb is only one word, and at 9 o'clock would be two words. So I have to think about when the dog ran, but I can't use a time. I could say, though, the dog ran early. When did the dog run? Early. So that adverb is describing when the dog ran for me. And then last, some adverbs tell us where. So I can think about where did the dog run. Remember, it can't be a noun. So it can't be a place like school because it doesn't make sense in the sentence. The dog ran school. It has to be a place, but it has to be somewhere where the dog can run, but it can't be a place. This is kind of tricky. Here's an example. The dog ran there. There is an adverb that tells us where is the dog running. Where did the dog run? There. So if you're not sure, you can always ask yourself the question and see if the answer would make sense. How did the dog run? Quickly. That makes sense. When did the dog run? Early. That makes sense. Where did the dog run? There. That makes sense. All right, moving on to the next page. So here are the three different kinds of adverbs again, and some clues for you to figure out and sort today which adverbs are which. So the first in the pink, how adverbs tell how a verb is done. If you ask yourself, how did the dog run, for example, if the word makes sense in the blank, then it's probably a how adverb. Also, as a hint, most how adverbs end with ly, the ly sound. Not all, but most. Next in the green, when adverbs. So when adverbs tell when a verb is being done. So if I ask myself the question, when did the dog run? If the word makes sense as an answer, then it's probably a when adverb. When adverbs tell us a time, day, or frequency. Let me give you some more information about that. So time, again, it can't be 9 o'clock, but it could be a time like early or later. Day, I don't mean a day like Monday or Tuesday, but it could be words like today or yesterday. And frequency, this would mean maybe if the dog runs often or the dog runs never. Those are frequency, telling me how often the dog runs. And last in the blue, so is where adverbs. Where adverbs tell us where a verb is done. If I ask, where did the dog run? If the word makes sense as an answer, it's probably an where adverb. And they are what I call a generic place. So again, it can't be a place like a noun, but it could be a generic place like there or everywhere or nowhere. Okay, now let's go ahead and try to sort some adverbs. For this, I have to take it off presentation mode because I have some adverbs here on the side, and we're going to figure out, are they how, when, or where adverbs. So my first one is loudly. If I think about loudly, I can ask myself the 3 questions to see which one makes the most sense. How did the dog run? Loudly. That seems like it kind of makes sense. Let's check the other 2 though to be sure. When did the dog run? Loudly. That doesn't tell me when the dog ran. That doesn't make sense as an answer. Where did the dog run? Loudly. That doesn't seem to make sense either as an answer. Also notice that it ends in the ly, the ly sound. So this word tells me, that's kind of like a hint that this is a how adverb. Here's our next one, soon. So soon. Again, I can start by asking and answering the question, see if it makes sense. How did the dog run? Soon. That doesn't really seem to answer the question very correctly. When did the dog run? Soon. That would make sense. That could be an answer. Where did the dog run? Soon. That doesn't seem to make sense at all. I can also tell that soon is a when adverb because it tells me a time. Not a time like 9 o'clock, but it's telling me what time the dog is going to run. He's going to run soon. Next I have there. So let's try it one more time by asking and answering the questions. How did the dog run? There. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. How about when did the dog run? There. That doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense either. Where did the dog run? There. Oh, okay, now that makes sense. I'm finding out where the dog ran. So there is a where adverb. All right, now I've got 3 more on the side. Let's see if you can help me a little bit more this time. So between. You could ask yourself the questions. You could also think about, does it end in, remember how adverbs usually end in ly, ly. When adverbs are a time, day, or frequency, and where adverbs are a place. What about between? Between is a where adverb. It's a generic place that you can go to. Where did the dog run? Between. All right, next one, crazily. All right, so think about, does it end in ly, the ly sound? Is it a time, a day, or a frequency? Or is it a place? Crazily is a how adverb because it ends in the ly, the ly sound. Also, if I ask and answer the question, it makes sense. How did the dog run? Crazily. Last one, after. All right, after. Is that a how adverb that ends in ly? Is it a when? Tells us a time, day, or frequency? Or where, a place? This one is a when adverb. It's a time. When did the dog run? After. All right, so I hope this helps you understand how to sort adverbs into the 3 different groups. You're going to be doing a sort on your own today, and you do need to turn it in. So please make sure Mom and Dad take a picture of it and attach it in our Google Classroom. So going back to our goal for the day, our goal is I can sort adverbs by the 3 questions, how, when, where. So you're going to do that now and prove to yourself you can do this. Have a great day. Bye, first graders.